Let me ask you a question. When do you think it is time to change your gear? Let me know in the comments right now, because a lot of you have been asking me, why am I not changing this bad boy, my Sony A1 for a Sony A7RV? It's gonna cost me less money and it's gonna be actually more performing. I'm gonna have all the good tools that I don't have in the A1, like AI, autofocus, white balance update, meaning like more consistent, and a lot of things that I talked about in the previous videos that would be fixed, like a flip screen. But let's be honest, times are a little crazy right now. We've got the Sony A7RV, we've got the ZV-E1, we've got Canon R6 Mark II, we've got Fuji X-S20 that just came out, Leica Q3. All those cameras are like inundating the markets. Nikon Z8, I haven't forgotten about you Nikon peeps. And honestly, it makes it difficult to choose anything, and I get the chance and the curse to try a lot of the most recent gear. And for that reason, I want to share with you my philosophy of when I think it is right time to change my gear. So if you're ready, let's get started. Good morning officially, guys, and welcome to this episode, because it's such a hard topic. Creativity flows through limitations and boundaries, and I want you to remember that very deeply, because I believe so, and I've experienced it, and many others have. Having less gear allows you to go further in your life, and it allows you to remove 1,000 decisions, and that way you can make space for creativity to flow through you, right? Let's talk a little more and how to choose when to change gear, because it's all linked together. It's a big bundle. Hear me out. First, if you don't know anything about me, here are some photos that I've been taking over the years. My name is Pierre T. Lambert. I'm a travel adventure photographer and the creator of the 30-day adventure to great photos, a step-by-step method to take your photography to the next level that has helped thousands of students around the world, no matter what kind of gear they were using and no matter what their level. So check the link in the description if you're curious about that. Let's go back to our gear. Okay, Sony A7RV comes with an awesome tilt screen, right? I don't have one on my A1. Frustration? Yes, a little bit sometimes. Will that kill me over the long run? Never. I've been taking photos with those screens for years. Yes, the moment you discover a flip screen, you're like, oh, I feel like I've missed it all my life. But at the end of the day, it's like also you can live without it, you know? And that is something that I try to remind myself of, and anyone who asks me about new cameras all the time, it is you can live without the newest, shiniest things, which is why a lot of people go back to film cameras or anything that has a little constraint around it, because then you don't have to think about what lens, what camera body am I gonna take on the field, etc. And I could literally be accumulating thousands of dollars of gear, but I don't. I do have a little bit too many lenses for now, but I only have 2 camera bodies, my Sony A1 and my Sony A7S III. That does not prevent me from having the ability to try all the latest gear, new compact cameras, old compact cameras, etc. But I usually ship those back to the people who got me the opportunity to try them. Why? Because I don't want to keep them. First of all, I'm happy if they gave it to me. That would be awesome. First of all, it's not part of the deal. And second, I don't want to buy them or sell my current gear, because then it makes me have to think too much. I'm gonna have to think how much is gonna be the resale value, how am I gonna like transpose, I'm gonna have to get used to the new gear, the new menus, the new everything, and that is fairly fast. But why bother? Why get clogged in our head with all that, when at the end of the day, what makes good photos is not what you're gonna be shooting with as much as what you want to shoot and how you build your shoot and how you organize it, right? Photography is not a new art. There's been like awesome creative photos that has been taken for hundreds of years. Why do we think this A7RV, for example, will change everything? Well, great marketing, absolutely great marketing, and lots of people like me talking about those new cameras. I'm excited to show the technology, show what you can do, but at the end of the day, in my opinion, most of the time you can't go wrong with the gear you have. And just to illustrate, imagine a restaurant, one of those restaurants with those menus. It's a book and you have to go through 25 pages every time you want to eat. How does that feel? For me, it is completely overwhelming. I'm like, oh, I feel like I need to go to page 10 and then come back and then choose, and then maybe I'll regret what I ate. No, oh my God, now I'm actually consciously try to pick just one thing, the first thing that I think is good, and stay with it. Don't even look at the rest of the menu. It's the same with gear. The less you have, the less you hesitate, the less you think about, I should have taken this 70-200 to this shoot, or my 24, or this one, or fill up my whole bag with all the lenses possible, and at the end of the day, don't shoot much of anything or stay with one lens. And more through my life as a photographer, as a professional, I've noticed that my real pro friends who work and grind their gear every day use the same thing for years. They don't change often, right? They really don't, because it works. It got them the job done, and it makes great photos, and it makes their clients happy, and they know how the ins and out of it. They can shoot with it blinded. Now, when it comes to creativity, will the new camera give you more creative freedom? Maybe, but listen up. Here's a great exercise for you. Print your photos, okay? I talked about it in a bunch of episodes, not only because we have a sponsor for this episode who is Whitewall and who is an awesome lab print with high quality prints, but also because I believe that once you look at prints, you have no clue what camera took which photo. Can you tell Lily which camera took this photo? I am completely unable to. The beauty of your images is not gonna come from the camera as much as you being in the streets, you being in that spot, you taking a flight to that epic locations, and you grinding that gear. So whenever you come home, print your photos. Go on Whitewall, check the link in the description, use a coupon code, get a discount to print your images, and notice how beautiful your images are without attaching it to the gear, attaching it to the settings, and look at them just for their creative vision and their execution, and you will see it feels completely differently. I'm unable to tell which camera was used in most of my images if I couldn't remember. So do it right now. Order your first prints with the link in the description, and you won't regret it. Yes, lenses will have an impact, but again, how many lenses do you need? You know, like 3 lenses might be more than enough. 1 lens might be more than enough for a lot of people, honestly. And so it goes. The Sony A7RV with its new shiny white balance is super tempting to me, but I honestly want to keep using my Sony A1. First of all, it's the state of the art in terms of speed of shooting. It has crazy bursts. It has great autofocus. Yes, it doesn't have the AI autofocus, but I can live without that. I don't need it. I have my eye tracking, and that's all I need, honestly. And then I have a tracking of subject, which works great. I also invested a lot of money into my underwater housing, which is custom made for Sony A1. So I'm like, why would I change now? You know, it's like I'm just churning gear for churning gear without deeper purpose behind it. Nah. So I'm invested in my camera, whether it's with accessories or with the time I'm shooting with it. And yes, some of the new features are cool, but at the end of the day, a flip screen's not gonna make me shoot more. White balance not gonna make me shoot more. And AI autofocus is neither gonna make me shoot more. And honestly, if I need to see with a flip screen, I'll just move like I've been doing for the past 5, 7 years, 10 years, who knows? There was no flip screen back in the days, if you remember, if we go back 20 years. So ask yourself, will these make my photos really better? Will this, most importantly, make me shoot more? Will this make me more creative? And 99% out of 9, I answer no. And so I have to make the sad decision. I'm saying sad because sometimes I do like new shiny stuff, and I'm like, okay, you know what? That's okay. It's not this time, maybe next time. It's okay. I'll skip 1, I'll skip 2, because at the end of the day, let's say you buy a A7RV now. You know, you had the A7 IV, you're like, oh my God, this is better. So you change, and then 3 months later, what happens? Pierre's dropping a new video with the A7R6, and you'll be like, oh my God, it's so much better. Or there is a new Fuji X100, let's call it X, right? You'll be like, oh my God, this is gonna make me so creative, and it's gonna be my everyday camera. No, it's not. That's what I was saying with the Ricoh camera. You want to shoot every day, just take your camera. Having this in your hand or on the strap is not the end of the world. We've been doing it for hundreds of years with like much bigger gear, and we're still doing it. So it comes down to how passionate are you about it, and how much do you want to do it, and create that time and space for you to do it in your everyday. You will see it will transform how you're shooting. It has for me. And it's always a great reminder that, yeah, my newest, shiniest gear is not necessarily the answer to a lack of going out there and shooting. Usually it fixes that for like 2 weeks and then it's off. So let me know what you think in the comments. I'm super interested. I'm super curious, because this is like a little deeper conversation that I think needs to happen a little more often in this platform, because you watch me try new gear, I'm excited, I try new things, and then maybe you don't see the rest of the story, which is I ship it back and then I'm done with it. I go back to my gear and I'm excited with that, and I go and take photos with that. So to conclude, I try to simplify my life, ask myself, will this make me more creative? Am I gonna be taking better photos with this? And third, does this make sense financially? Because that's a big component also. And if I'm really hesitating, I'll just print the photos from my actual cameras and be like, am I happy with that? And if yes, and if I can't tell the difference, well, then that's good. If I'm really unhappy, it's probably because I need to work on my skills or the creative vision. And really coming last is usually the gear. So with that being said, get out there, go shoot, try something different, try something new. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.